Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. As usual, as soon as we start this program, you're free to pick up your telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything. We speak about what you want us to speak about. We stop in the middle of the sentence, in the middle of a sentence, and we take your call. Because what you have to say is much more important than what we say. We encourage our callers to call and punch. You may want to make a low blow at the host, but it's better to make your main point first. It's better to make your main point first. We advocate the truth. We encourage the truth. And we encourage callers to speak the truth. But you can always express your opinion. Opinions are not facts. They are opinion. They are prejudice. They have some level of subjectivity. So we tolerate your opinion. There are a number of issues in the world today. Today is Madi Thursday, or Holy Thursday. We have a war in Israel going on with Hamas. The majority of countries in the world support Hamas. They're against Israel. Israel is about 15 million people. And there are a lot of Grenadians. Hamas and the Muslims have a lot of support in Grenada from all walks of life. But we must also know that Hamas and some of the Muslim countries around, they do not recognize Israel's right to exist. They call them infidels. And they say they should die. They should go into the bottom of the sea. And sometimes I ask people who I speak to, how do you make peace with the people who do not recognize your right to exist? With the people who teach their children that if you kill Jews or infidels, you're going to go in Abraham's bosom. How do you make peace with a people like that? And a number of times since 1947, 46, 45, the Palestinians, the Muslims, have walked away from the peace table. You have an instance when they had the 5 famous no's. They don't recognize Israel's right to exist. They want the Israelis dead. When they attack Israel, they rape, murder, and desecrate even the dead bodies of Israel. In 2000, when Israel left Palestine, within 96 hours, over 100 greenhouses and other sites was destroyed. The level of hate and bitterness that exists between these people could be astonishing. So sometimes we in Grenada, as we make statements, why not support Israel? Why not support Hamas? We must understand that these people seem to hate one another for thousands of years. And they don't want peace. Each side wants to win. So it doesn't appear that Hamas want peace. Hamas want the Israelis dead. The ceasefire, some advance the view, is only a strategy for them to regroup. And then we have Venezuela and Guyana. And then we have the situation in Haiti. And every day, the war between Russia and Ukraine is drawing us closer to World War III. France has been talking about sending troops in Ukraine. And in Grenada here, we have our own challenges. With the government, with the people, with us. But today is Holy Week. And Holy Week is significant in the Christian life. So if there is any Christian that is an authority, or you have knowledge about Holy Week, tell us, we want to know. Based upon what we read from the internet, it is Maundy Thursday. One of the highlights of that day is the washing of feet. It's the greatest act of humility you could find. And this is the model by which Christians should live. Christ gave a model to live in, that you must wash your brother's feet. During this period of time in their culture, it was a great insult for somebody to shake the dust off your feet. But Christ, the leader, the master, washed the disciples' feet. It's a call to service. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, welcome.
I hear you saying today is Holy Thursday.
Holy Thursday, Maundy Thursday. It commemorates the Last Supper in the Christian arsenal.
Only once a year the year Holy Thursday?
Yes, once a year Holy Thursday, once a year you have your birthday, once a year you have Good Friday, once a year you have Christmas, twice a year you have Carnival, Monday and Tuesday.
I hear you. Mr. Pierre, you know, watching the Prime Minister, you see the opposition on the in Parliament. Head up talking, but you know the liar head down and he don't looking up at all. He head down. Of course he planning to lie. Head always down. You don't looking up at all.
Since I see the contempt and scorn on the Prime Minister's face when he was calling people beggy, I just try to avoid looking at it.
You don't looking at nobody because you know he know he's lying. So you don't looking at nobody. Head down. Where they get this kind of people and them and putting grenade here?
We that produce them. We make them. Like we children, we make, we bad train, we help guide, and we present. That's why they say a people dissolve the government they have. We that produce that.
I hear you. All right.
We that do that.
Miss Mona, good afternoon. A little while now I don't hear you. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Ma'am, give me a call, man. Just call me and say you call.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, later.
You see, sometimes you have your children, the neighbors report your child going to school with knife. Not he alone has go with knife. That is the answer you're giving. Not he that has go with knife. And your son used to go with knife too. That is why a lot of parents spoiling the children. And then when the children get big, man, they spoil. When people tell you your daughter lying, you say, not she that does lie alone. Your great-grandmother they lie to. Instead of taking the advice and counseling your daughter and encourage her to cease from lying, you say, not she alone that lying. So parents that produce these children, we have to have a model by which our children live. We have to present a model to them. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to obey the model, but you must have a model. When the children get up in the morning, you make them pray. You say, pray. Thank God. Some people in Haiti now, they don't even have parents, they run you in the street. You have parents. Say, thank God. Bomb falling in Ukraine. No bomb falling in Greater. Say, thank God. You have to culture. You have to teach your children to thank God. You have to teach your boys to have respect. We have some boys now, no respect. The parents that cause that. They walking down, pants falling, slipper in the foot, one hand hold up the crutch, and they cussing wind. They cussing man, woman, and child. And the mothers cutting the neck for them. And fathers are bother, you know. When you go in the courthouse, mothers you see crying, you know. You don't see one father there. The father say is the woman that spoiled the child. When he little and talking to him, you don't hear him, me papa, I don't meddle. Father in the rum shop enjoying himself. Woman taking out the little sianka tuka money she have to go and give a lawyer to tell the magistrate to send your child in jail. So you have to have a model. Send your children to church. I don't care which church they go. Send them to church. Bless your children before they leave home. Bless them. Pray with them. Pray for them. Look in the community and see the children you consider, not me. The children you consider that is doing well and the behavior is acceptable in the community. Imitate the model that they have. You have to have a model for your children. Your son mark up all his face. How you feeling? You watch your 17, 18, 16, 15-year-old son, all his face mark up. Spelling wrong and all kind of thing. See a girl the last time she have one of her boyfriend insists that she put his face on her breast. She show me. She put his face on her breast. She and the boy break up. Next boy don't watching his breast, I tell you. He want his face on the breast too. So she put the next boy's face on the breast. That is how a man should know. When I come and see her crying, what happens? She and the boy break up again. So we must have a model. When your children on, they must have a little engine, a O, and a seine in the water. If you grow them up with no engine, no O, no seine, the wave going to cast them anyway. Sometimes they cast in a good harbor, but more often than not, they end up in rock and they drown. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, what's going on with you?
Well, what am I saying? Is it the truth? Tell me. What am I saying? Is it the truth?
All right.
Do you agree is the truth?
Yes, it's
The truth
right.
hard to handle.
Yeah,
That's why you are too tight with Mandre Kosher rope.
all right.
People must face the truth. Our children, a lot of our children is not going good. Go and ask the magistrate. If you don't believe me, go near the courthouse. On days you have case. See the number of young men that go in front of the courthouse. And today, all the magistrates are women. All the magistrates are women. You don't have no man that is magistrate now. Even the chief magistrate, I understand, is a woman. And some of them start to get worried, because they have sons. Before, they just sending a man in jail. But some of them women start to get worried now because they have sons. What are they going to do with these boys? They drop out from school. 70% of the children that exit in school cannot meet the basic requirement. When you say that teacher vex, principal vex, chief education officer vex, minister vex, 70% of the children that exit school cannot meet the minimum requirement. You have to ask yourself, and go in front of the mirror when you're asking yourself that. Is my child involved in it? Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, good afternoon, and target family. And Holy Week, Holy Thursday.
Holy Thursday. Washing of foot.
Mr. Pierre, the sad reality of reality is reality. I have met a Kenran already without seeing him face to face in person. Anyhow, what we need to do, I understand your paradigm and what you're trying to bring across. I understand? And if people don't realize what we see in our eyes right now, it will be a fallacy. What is happening is what I would call a clear and present danger. We are seeing it, we are experiencing it, we are hearing it. And for some reason, some people don't see that, they can experience it, they're not feeling it until it falls in their pot. When I listen to a member of parliament from St. Patrick's up there saying we're going to be getting monies to do certain projects, when I see a member of parliament from St. David, the Prime Minister, saying that we're increasing allocations from 15,000 to 100,000, which is $85,000 increase. When I hear a parliamentarian saying that, oh, we will increase the money for the poor and vulnerable from 150 to 650. Yet they put back $50 and instead they give us $200. Our minds, our math is not seeing what is happening. Today I am seeing a presidential candidate in America selling Bible, a Bible, for $60. This is what we're seeing, this is what we're hearing, and this is what we're knowing, and we just cannot believe what we've seen and hearing. Am I crazy? Mr. Pierre, am I?
Well, sometimes you're close to when you hear this craziness passing, craziness is a thin line, you know. Some of us crossing the line all the time.
That is my point.
You hear talk about breast, the woman shock. How you could say breast on the road?
I mean, that is human anatomy. So this is what I'm saying. You have a guy, a minister right now. Prior to him being a minister, he was in a church saying that he stole money. He was this, he was that. He has no original idea. There's a guy in St. Patrick against certain project in St. Patrick. There's a guy in St. David against certain project in St. David. And the men coming today and telling us all these things differently to what I was saying then, and people saying forgive them. People has changed. We are seeing clear and present danger. We are hearing it. But no, Dr. Mitchell T. bill, shall I start cell phone bills and all this kind of nonsense. Yet you have a businessman in office today, couldn't pay bills, take money in GDP, from GDP. Alongside him is 4 years. Yeah. You have Prime Minister, a Prime Minister today, I call her name, whose name was associated with CDI. Alongside other ministers, we are seeing it. We can see and understand what happening. My God, Grenadians, have a good day, folks.
Yes, you know, these things, sometimes we contribute to that. Because it's easy for us to criticize the young man in the community that don't have a job, that thief a blogger, or use obscenities or pell stone. It's easy for us to criticize him. But we don't want to take issue with the individual with a master's degree that got free education, and now his language is dismissive and despicable. So when the government of Grenada, I have said repeatedly, and I verily believe that this government is the most corrupt group in Grenada post 1967. There is no other group in Grenada post 1967 that tell more lies than this group of individuals, that introduce restorative justice. I listened to this morning RealFM. An individual was talking about the threat to his radio station, as if the individual did not understand the government introduced restorative justice and its practicality on the ground. What is happening on the ground is political vengeance. I have not heard the main players in Grenada summoning the government to explain why restorative justice. You see, that is significant to me, because the government campaigned on transformation, but they knew it was not transformation. They couldn't campaign on restorative justice, so it was deception. They knowingly tamper with the truth. They say to people, we're going to have transformation, dramatic change. And when they know it was restorative justice, they have not been called to account. What is the justification? Who did them wrong? What is it they want to repair in introducing restorative justice, and why did they lie to the Grenadian public. Over 1/3 of the 9 members on the government side is plundering the Grenada Development Bank. Several members of the top henchmen of the National Democratic Congress is selling passport in the CBI program. Well, the question is, who is going to do the check and balances? Who is going to do the check and balances? So the government is the chief cook and bottle washer where selling passport is concerned. Now, if these things are not acts of corruption, the government went further to change the procurement order from $15,000 to $100,000. And the reason it was dropped down to $15,000 was an action taken to avoid corruption. The government is opening a cesspool for corruption. This government is so corrupt. It's the first time in history I see a number of politicos lose their tongue. Even my brother Willie don't know what to say again. Camaraderie, only a low blow now and then. Cousin Danley hiding because they cannot explain. They cannot advance justification for these systematic acts of corruption. We could pay dearly for it. The government depends quite a lot on CBI program. And I'm being extra conservative when I say quite a lot. So if the CBI program fails or dwindles in the amount of income it brings, the government would not be able to pay the bills. And when a government is desperate, they sell assets. And the NDC have a track record of selling assets. It was the National Democratic Congress that sold the electricity company. It was the NDC that sold the banks. And the NDC sold 13 pieces of property. Even that which was not theirs. So they have the track record. And my biggest fear is they go sell Nawasa. Now they on to GDB Bank to sell it again. That is the policy of the government. This is the most hostile group to people in the lower income group. And we stay silent and listen to it. And we have a number of individuals who was self-acclaimed custodians of good governance, transparency, and good governance and accountability. All of them take bush. They're in a hiatus. They abscond. They encapsulate themselves in a cocoon. That is the government we have. It is rumored on the ground that one minister run up a bill in excess of 40,000 US for hotel. And she thinks she's right to do it. She believes that's all right. Nothing wrong, I'm a minister. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
That is why I am going to spin the truth on them. Yeah. That is why I want us to know where the people in the integrity in public life live and the number and the name. That is why we will stick there. We cannot let them get away from it, Mr. Pierre. We cannot, and we should not. We have to do something about them. They are the ones that have the answers. I don't like my philosophy, but my philosophy, eye for eye and a tooth for tooth.
No, well, all of us go end up without eye and without tooth. You won't able to suck in, you have to bite it, and you won't able to see.
No, man.
But the fact, what you are saying,
half of them don't know, man.
what you are saying,
half of them don't know.
yeah, what you are saying is correct. Because when government set up a board, that board's supposed to act with professionalism.
Of course.
But the boards government has been setting up is corrupt boards. Sham boards. They are corrupt boards. They are sham boards.
In 2 weeks?
You cannot be on a board and you cannot justify why 3 or 4 ministers of government got millions of dollars from you.
Listen, watch me. They not get it there. They get it and they have it now, you know. But tell them it doesn't matter even though it's 20 years after. We coming for them and after them, you know.
Well, you see, you can't come for them if the majority of people is like them. What the government has done is to draw a line of demarcation between the haves and the have-not in Grenada. Wow. And if you notice, the people who complained before was those who believed they're in the upper class. Some of them was not in the upper class, but they believe. So, and the government is taking out. Yeah, the government remove money from the elderly, the physically challenged, disadvantaged children, the Imanis. The government cut down on road work. So they cut down on employment. They fire agriculture workers to satisfy the needs of people in the top position. They give a tax break to people in the top position. And if you follow, some of the companies doing the same thing. The NIS in Grenada, again, is committing crime against ordinary society, people. If you on sick leave, the NIS want you to get a cell phone in your name so you could get your sick leave money. I don't know if the NIS is in collaboration with one of the phone companies and they become an agent for the companies. I believe hundreds of Grenadians, particularly the elderly, that is not technologically savvy, would lose their life saving in the bank. I believe, let me repeat that again, because I want them to challenge me when I say these things, you know. I believe hundreds of Grenadians, particularly the poorer ones, who are not technologically savvy, they're going to lose their life savings in the bank and the credit union and them. People go take all the money. Because the government is forcing the use of technology on these people who is not educated about it, they have to go to neighbors and friends and sometimes to worthless children to access the money in the bank. A girl tell me, if you log in and you don't log out, the person could take your money. Well, I don't know how to log in and log out, so I'm trying to keep far away from that process. But the government forces your hand. You must deal with it. So when you go in your account, if you don't log out, Jumbie take you. I've heard a story already that one young man lost $20,000. And as a result, he on the street now. He lost it. He lost his money and he lost his brain. The government of Grenada is forcing the hand of the individuals to accept the technology. The NIS is doing it. You see credit union closed down for a few days. I hear they interfere with their money. That's why they have to shut down. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Pierre, I was compelled to call back.
Yes, I'm glad you called. When nobody ain't calling, call back.
Yeah, man, we talking education because you don't call and say about jabbing. Here we go now. You're talking about this thing about the money and breach of security with the money. So right now, what we involve in cryptocurrency, which means we are online anybody can access their account from anywhere. And we see one of our major outlets of financial institution, which is named Ariza, they say they have a hack, right? Which means you can access your teller machine, I think it was from Sunday gone. So today is Thursday, they send out things that you can go today and use your teller card and what have you. And I will not blame this on any government because it's happening worldwide. The problem with that, people will find a way to politicize that because financial crimes also come with somebody behind it. Now, Mr. Pierre, they talk about Dr. Kip Mitchell with investors coming in by CBI. They call them convestors. Yeah? And I'm bringing a link here. There's a minister now from St. George Southeast also had a chicken farm. Anybody know about that? Anybody heard what happened to that chicken farm, Mr. Pierre, and use a guy in the farm? Tell me, am I lying?
We try not to tell lies on this program.
There's a man from that running in the southeast and St. Paul's Obey.
I don't think they finished pay some people yet from St. Patrick.
So what I'm hearing, and I could say it, what I'm hearing, in my opinion, what I'm hearing is that a certain institution trying to blank out certain bills that a certain minister has now. So that's the reason why I'm saying behind financial crimes, there are some financial people that knows what is going on. Here's the reason why. GDB also has become compromised because there are ministers, and there's one minister in particular named, people call it Andy Williams. So let it try me. And let it threaten electronic acts and bill laws and line. And let me say, when your call name is your line. These men admit things. I call them snake oil salesmen. Mr. Pierre, have a good afternoon.
Yes, you see, I blame the government for some aspects of it. The government is pushing it, forcing the people to accept the technology that they're not prepared for. So I'll give you two instances. The paying of stamp tax and VAT and personal income tax. On the 9th hour, the government said you could only deal with that online. On the 9th hour, and a number of the people that are involved don't know the technology. So they had to be going to little children, younger people. You say little children and some people might get offended. You have to go to younger people. Sometimes they come out to school for them to go on the internet for you. But you don't have a clue. So by the time you finish, give these people the information. If these children and them is corrupt, they have your personal information. You don't know if they log on, how they log off. I can't even watch this little thing on the computer. So the government knows that a serious number of people that is dealing with that don't know about the technology. It's not that the government has been providing information to people. They have no patience and no tolerance with you. They say, go on online. Let me give you another story. The NIS, young man, go to doctor, get sick, got sick leave. When he ready to collect money, after some girls send the information for him, they say you have to have a cell phone in your name. So he go and buy a cell phone, he pays $600 for it or whatever. When he come back, they tell him about internet. The man mash up the phone. He say he don't have internet. He buy the cell phone because he's ignorant about these things. He didn't have a phone. And a girl show him how to set up the phone. But when he go back to them, they say you have to have internet. So the guy perhaps thought he had to go and buy internet again. He says it's just $198 he had to collect. So he mash up the phone for $600 and he forget that. There is a lot of instances like that. You have people in Grenada that cannot open an account in the bank or account in credit union because they tell them you don't have an address. Now, I always ask the question, how our people could be tricking us so? And that's why I don't care about reparation, you know. I'm an individual from school that don't care about reparation. If the Caribbean get money in reparation, thank God. People just get money. If you get money free, take it. But the black people sold us in slaves. Our forefathers sold us in slavery. And Africans had been selling slaves for 700 years before European gone by. And look at what our own people in Grenada is doing us now. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. I just want to find out something. I realize that the government changed a lot of names of a lot of organizations, a lot of stuff. But I know when you change a name, when you change the name of something, is a lot of things behind the legal processes. They change names and everything. I just want to find out if that's a normal situation or that's a legal way to go when you have to change your name, like from CBI to the new name they have. What is the process normally takes place when a thing like that happens?
Well, this is I don't know. This is a corrupt government. This is the most corrupt government post 1967. And the government must find we using these names regular. They're going to change a lot of names. It's an act to distract people and to confuse them. We elected a bad government. That has happened in democracy. And we have to try our best that this government will put this economy in free fall. We have to pray that this government don't cause conflict and confusion in our country and break up the fabric of our society. It's a greedy group that seems to believe in bribery. From day one, they are associated with number 10. They are associated with the gracious offer. They are associated with expensive gifts given to them by companies. And they see nothing wrong with that. Today, Maundy Thursday, Holy Thursday, a Thursday in which we observe, which Christians observe the commemoration of the Last Supper. One of the models, and we are a Christian society, one of the models in Christendom is humility. And one of the greatest acts of humility was the washing of feet, where the master, the servant, the master acted like the servant and washed the disciples' feet. This is the model of Christianity. Not about saying all Romans will go in hell and you going to church every day, go in heaven. The model is to serve, is humility. That is one of the model we're going to use. From time to time, you're going to find individuals flaunting the model. But when you have a government that sit down and plan to flaunt that model, you're in trouble. And that is what happened in Grenada. It's not that we have a bad fella that leading the government, or you have a bad politician. The government sit down and plan lies. And the model they have is one of lies, corruption, and hostility against the elderly, the physically challenged, disadvantaged children, supernumeraries, and temporary workers, and over 3,000 imams. It's the first time in the history of Grenada I know a government come in and they claim they have no money problems. They met a treasury pregnant. They're collecting more money from their budget than what was projected. They're collecting more money from the CBI program than that was projected. Yet, they remove $150 from the elderly and the physically challenged. They take out the bus money, the transport money from disadvantaged children. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. So how a person get money from NIS? How NIS come about?
Well, some of the people that are having the problem with NIS is those who don't know the technology and don't have telephones. So if you, let's say you're working with a contractor, a farmer, daily paid worker, and you're on a sick leave, you go to the doctor. When you get this sick leave, you have to send it to NIS through your phone. And you have to send the paper to your boss through the phone. And the boss have to send his response to NIS through the phone.
If you can read, if you cannot read.
Well, you have to get help to do that. But the last part is now, when you have to get your money, NIS say they give you through the phone. So if you don't have a cell phone in your name, if that is not a crime, then I don't know what is a crime.
Well, Mr. Pierre, is a crime from the time you open your mouth.
And the sad thing is the trade union have 2 members on NIS board. But you have to want 2 members on NIS board. And that's why I tell people, I don't care about the reparation.
But me don't care about that.
Our real criminals is our leaders.
About that. You work for your dollar, pay them people the dollar. Or you have to go on phone what?
Well, they have to have a phone.
They ain't have food. They ain't have food to eat. You talk about phone what?
And you know who struggles the most? The men, you know. Because some of the men will buy a phone and get a woman.
Yes.
But when they come for themselves, they say, no phone. I never see that. It's almost like a product. You know. And the man say, well, how much I have to get for sick leave? $150. How much for the phone? $200. The man say, you don't make sense buying phone.
So why buy the phone?
And he get well, so he forget that. But you know, it caused a lot of mistrust among workers and the bosses.
Well, that is why you see me. My intention, anyway you work, anyway, you go in there and deal with them. You go there and deal with them.
No, well, you see, if you deal with NIS, they don't bother with you. You can't go and deal with them. Remember, who you meeting there is the frontline worker, you know. They obeying orders. The people who is responsible.
They want executing, you know.
Yeah, but the people who is responsible, they're not in the workplace. Those who make the rules, you can't see them. So you'll be going and make issue with ordinary workers that disagree with the system too.
Well, they disagree, but they ain't telling you.
Well, they're making a day work. What you want them to do?
But they ain't telling you the truth.
But sometimes, if you're too aggressive, they won't tell you the truth. Next thing one call their name, they fire them.
Well, you see, that's why you see me. You guys talk about gun amnesty. Don't give up no gun.
Well, you see, the challenge we have here, I have said before that the problems we have in Trinidad, the Trinidad government created. In Jamaica too.
Listen up.
No. Yeah.
You're saying that, you know. What's me? Trinidad, Guyana, and Haiti ended up in Grenada before 2027, you know. Trinidad, Guyana, and Haiti ending up in Grenada.
What they come and doing Grenada? They're in better position. Grenada might come like them.
Well, that's he ending up here.
Yeah. You see, our leaders have to prepare to wash their brother's foot. That is the model in Christianity.
Mr. Pierre, nice dry weather, man. They go and sleep. Bedtime. They go and wash your foot in the pipe. Right? When they have standpipe, they go and wash your foot in the standpipe. Bedtime. They walk in and mud to go back home, but bedtime.
Well, we have come a long way. We have, you see, I think it's the model. What is wrong, what is sad, is too much of our leaders abandon the model. And government is the pace setter. Government sets the pace.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. You see, it's them two boys and them that feel Just as you say, they treat us and they playing big shot. Done in borrowed feathers. Done in borrowed feathers.
Of course, they are borrowed feathers. Yeah. Yes, scholar. Thank you. So we have to continue speaking about that. Even if those in the top position, we can change them, but we hope by speaking, we're going to make the people who are affected the most understand. You will be wiser. And you have to know, you have power. But when you have the opportunity to use that power, don't throw it away. Because the people deserve the government they have. We get tricked. A law was provided, and we thought it was molasses. But it's not. This group of individuals that leads us is the worst group, the most corrupt group, the group that tells lies the most, the group that deceives the public the most hostile group towards people in the lower income group. And I always ask people who have phone to research Michael De Freitas. Nobody never called me back and tell me about him. When you hear leaders want to live lavish lifestyle throughout history, when our leaders decide to live lavish lifestyle, they sacrifice our people. You could go and research the butcher of the Congo, Michael De Freitas, and all the other leaders are the 10 most corrupt lawyers in the world. Yes, scholar, welcome. Yes, scholar, welcome. We lost that caller. Caller, try again. Yes, these individuals want to live lavish lifestyle. They want to live above their means. And as a result of that, they sacrifice their own people. This group of individuals we have is sacrificing Grenadians in the lower income group. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Yes, caller, welcome.
So, Pierre, I hear you keep talking about NIS. I know of persons who've been dealing with NIS and they go into NIS and get their business done. They don't do anything on the phone and all of that. They don't must have a phone to do.
Caller, these people you're talking about, these people you're talking about, are they in an established service or the some?
Yes.
These people don't affected much. You see, most the government workers, teachers, the big companies and etc., they have they have a personal management unit in each of these big companies. So if a worker have a problem, you just go to them and help them. You're talking about the worker that work in agriculture sector, construction, supermarkets.
That is what I'm talking about, Mr. Pierre.
Well, it's caller, you could test me.
On another note.
Caller, on that issue.
Week, as you say, Maudie Thursday, there was a massive disaster in Shantimel. I have not heard you or any of your callers make any mention about showing some love, some compassion to these people.
A God you say you have not heard. A God you said you have not heard. That doesn't mean we did not do it. And this program, we encourage people to call. You have a sister in particular, and they say she does bring out the softer side in me. She always calls. And I believe she already called on that matter. But I encourage people on my program, call and introduce topic. Call and talk about it. A number of people ask me about this Holy Week and Good Friday, and I'm not very knowledgeable about it. So I bring it here and encourage Christians to call. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, I'm calling back again.
Yeah.
This morning, a man named Daniel, not Daniel, right? Peter. His name is Peter. He called me on Peter. The number is 234-704-745-9982. Call me and tell me he want to invite me in a Zoom meeting. A Zoom meeting now. Real FM. So ask him, where you calling from? What's your name? He tell me his name is Michael. He didn't tell me where he calling from. He wants me in a Zoom meeting. I say, what is the meeting about? When you get just to in a meeting. So I ask him if he know me. He say no. Where did you get my number from? Oh, on the chat. I said, well, what chat? So I asked him, I say, listen, I am not one that walk in people's yard. I'm not a beggar. Me mountain there on the ground. I'm not a beggar. I asked him if he know a thing they call Novichok. A Nov agent. I said, anytime you want to test me, go and study chemistry and come. And he cut the phone off. When I call him back, he didn't answer. But anybody that want to challenge,
I think that is some of the challenges that Real FM have now.
Yes.
Andre was speaking about it. Yeah.
This morning, yes.
Yeah.
But anybody that want to challenge me.
Well, one have to be, the technology is good, but the technology could be used for mischief.
Well,
and that is why I'm always encouraging parents to encourage your children to help you.
Yes, because the face is showing. I have the face. They could delete out, but I lock it in.
Yeah.
And if they feel they could get to me, tell them when they're coming from good enough.
Well, yes, the technology is so good, my brother, that they have so much devious ways of manipulating in the videos. Exactly. And that is what saddens my heart when the government of Grenada and these institutions like NIS and the banks are not sympathetic to the situation that exists among some of our lower income people.
That is problem. A person doesn't even understand the thing. They had to go for $150, they had to go and spend $600.
And most of the people who are abandoning it is the men, you know. The women sticking for the $150.
Yes.
So they might make a man go and buy a phone with them.
Yes.
But when the man finds the price for himself, he'll buy the phone for the woman for $600. But if the phone is $198 and what he had to get is $150, say you don't wasting money. So our men are seriously disadvantaged.
You go waste $48?
Yeah.
No. Tell them I know maths. That's all I do, you know.
Yeah.
All I do is measurement and figure, you know. That's all I know.
Yes, scholar. Thank you.
All right.
So we have to be better educated. We have to be more knowledgeable about the technology. But the sad story is 70% of our children exiting school, and some of them worse than the parents. 70% of the children exiting school, and they don't ready yet. They don't have the basic education. And the institutions and the government of Grenada seems and appears to be hostile towards the people they promised to help. And that's why I speak like that, and I dare to challenge me. Take me on. When I come and I speak about NIS here, say take me on those issues. The fact that the government on the 9th hour changed the method by which people pay tax. Give people a deadline. In 1 year from now, we will do that. So these sluggish taxpayers who are always late and who don't know, who is not technologically savvy, will try to better able themselves. And that's why I say a lot of people go lose your money in the bank. Prepare. Those of you who's storing up plenty money in the bank, they go take all. Because anytime you log on, you have to log off. I've heard stories already with young people, the little children in school buying things on Amazon away. because they managed to get the parents didn't log off the phone. And as long as you're saying yes, yes, next thing your money gone. But you don't have to believe me when I that, you know. Ask somebody who you believe. No. Ask a teacher. Ask a banker. Ask an idle girl with a phone. They know a lot about the phone, you know. Idle people with phone. And as we come to the end of our program, this is the last program for the week, the last program for the month. The next time we're back on the radio will be on Tuesday, God's will. We do not have the extension tomorrow. Tomorrow is Good Friday. Easter Sunday, you don't have Independence Stock. Monday, Easter Monday, everybody enjoying themselves and fetting and relaxing and sleeping. So the next time we're on the program will be on Tuesday, God's will. We want to encourage you to be more knowledgeable, be careful on your phone, and do your utmost. You don't lose your money in the bank. Anytime you log on, you have to log off. But some of us don't know how to log on. We don't know how to log off. And you don't expect help from the government. The government of Grenada seems to be waging a war on the people in the lower income group in Grenada. And the only reason you don't hear more voices shouting, because some people in our country that is poor, they believe they're rich. They have a little discretionary income, or they have money without wealth. They have money, no collateral, but they believe they're rich. So when that money down in the pocket, you recognize that. We want to thank you for being with you today, and all those of you who participate. We highly appreciate when you call. You don't have to agree with us. We take calls from anybody. You don't have to agree with us. We don't have to agree with you. But we highly appreciate your dialogue and your call. Please have a good Thursday. Go and wash your foot. Have a good Friday and a good Easter. Thank you very much.